Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Coffees.
It's been a while. I know we promised it wasn't going to be, but it's
super busy.
Yeah.
So busy. School is out, and we are trying to do all of those summer things. We're trying to sell a house.
Sold the house. We still have to wait for closing and all that stuff. But
packing.
So we're trying to figure all that out and get the truck, get the camper. We're trying to do it all.
By the way, if you know anyone selling a camper, please let us know.
Yeah, we've been Facebook Marketplace every day, what seems like all day. That thing will actually wear you out.
Yeah, it's mentally exhausting.
It is,
for sure.
It is. Like I've got a budget. We're those people. We're staying in budget.
We plan a budget and we are sticking with it, no matter what.
So
we're going to do whatever it takes.
It's a little hard right now to find a diesel truck and a camper and be in the budget we want to be in, but we're going to make it happen.
We will. We always do.
That's what we do. We took, an impromptu visit?
Yes.
To Missouri near Kansas City. Went up there and we wanted to. Our son and daughter-in-law that lived there, we wanted to go visit them. So
they had some exciting news for us.
Exciting news. So it's been probably a month that we are told to keep it a secret.
Yes.
Right? Ish. Mm-hmm. A month. So we were headed up there. No one knew that we were going up there. Certain few knew that we knew would not
spill the beans.
So, and one found out super late because we knew she probably would spill the beans.
Right.
So we had to pump the brakes on letting her know. So that would be my mom. So we pumped the brakes just a little bit till Christian was ready to let. He had some stuff he sent her and make her feel special. So
right.
Boy won. But so we had to run up there, and we were waiting, didn't know if we were going to, but we found out our oldest and our beautiful daughter-in-law are going to be
parents. So that means we're going to be Gigi and
Papa.
Isn't that cute?
Everybody's like, I spell it P-A-P-A, and they're like, the heck? And I say it Papa because it's what I called my grandpa whenever I was young. So, but we found out we were going to be grandparents, and I know for the both of us, we were stupid excited.
Yes.
We've always joked about can't wait for that day, can't wait. You know, knowing it would be a long while. I really didn't think that boy one would ever have children at such a young age. Yeah.
And it's just he didn't care for children, I guess. Growing up.
It's not that he didn't care. He's just a planner.
Yes.
And focused, driven.
And children were not
and not yet. Yeah. He seems to. He's one of those. He has to have a plan.
Kind of like you.
He is. Yeah. It's why he's awesome. So, but we found out we're going to be grandparents. So we 15 hours there to be there as soon as we could. So they did a gender reveal while we were up there. And
it's going to be a boy.
Yep.
So exciting.
Very excited. Very, very exciting. So that was really, really cool. But while we were there, spending time with them, on the way back, so they were near Kansas City. We've been there. I've been there. You've been there more than I have, a couple times more than I have. But
we drove by the Arch several times, but we never made time to visit there.
Right. Well, I'm talking about Kansas City.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she flew into Kansas City, I think, a couple times actually.
Yeah.
I love it. It's just that rich history. So we got to go visit Kansas City and some of the cool things. What was that art place that we went to? You remember?
Donald Hall Art Museum.
Yep. So
very
that was
cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. That we got to walk around that area.
And the glass maze, that was different, but it was fun.
Everything about that place was different.
Yeah.
In a good way. It was cool.
Yeah.
But so we drove there. So on the way back, we have, like Angela said, hit drove by the St. Louis Arch.
I think it's called the Gateway Arch, maybe. Anyways, it's this big metal.
Everybody
arch.
knows that. You should know what the arch is.
Right.
If you don't, Google it or look it up.
Right.
But we not just drove by it. We actually decided to stop and take the tram.
You're right. The tram
takes you all the way up. So 635 feet.
630 something feet.
Tallest monument in America. So which is cool. Very, very cool. So 4 minutes up, 3 minutes down, but you get to see the entire city skyline from up there, and then the nasty river that runs through the backside. Runs through the backside. Disgusting. It's just nasty.
It's
to look.
Brown.
It's
like poop brown.
But they've got cargo ships and stuff. I'm pretty sure I've seen a cargo ship or two while we were out there. So I guess it stirs up a lot of water. But did that, and then we went by the Grand Ole Opry. We didn't stop in.
Tennessee is just the longest state.
It is, but even driving, it is the freaking longest state. The way we come from North Carolina to Missouri, but Tennessee. You've got Knoxville, you've got Pigeon Forge area, Knoxville, like I said, Nashville, Memphis. I mean, there is so much to see in Tennessee. It's insane.
Right. And I really want to, whenever we do finally get our camper, I would love to visit that state and actually spend some time there and do all the things that, tourists get to do, I guess. Right. I think that would be a lot of fun, and I could definitely spend like a month, maybe 2 months. Just going all the way through. But it is the longest state. Whenever you're traveling, we actually stayed
right
overnight.
outside. Right outside of Knoxville.
Yeah.
That's a country song. Right outside of Knoxville. But so we stayed there. Gas was coming out of Tennessee, and we had to go. You have to go through Illinois. Gas was like $5.30, $5.40. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Super high.
Gas is ridiculous right now in itself, but we were running on fumes. I pushed it to the limit just to get out of Illinois into St. Louis, Missouri. And the first exit I got off, first exit coming in, I just seen, they had gas and went, and it was a pretty rough part of town. And luckily it wasn't at night or anything like that.
Right, but the sun had already set. It was definitely close to dark.
But I had no choice. I had to get gas where that spot was. So lesson learned. I'll just next time keep driving.
We don't want to run out of gas in St. Louis.
I'll probably fill up before we leave Tennessee, getting into Illinois. But Illinois, get your shit together. Come on, man. $5.30 for gas. Golly.
And everywhere else was like $4.60.
Yeah,
so it was definitely a big, big change.
But did that. We were gone for, I think, a week or more.
I think 8 or 9 days. I can't remember.
Came back, and Miss Bougie over here decided she was going to go ahead and take off
to the Outer Banks.
Yep, her and her best friend took off, or girlfriend, best friend, however you girls say it. They took off to the Outer Banks.
Drove the Jeep out to Corolla. Got to spend the day with the wild horses. It was pretty cool. They actually were nestled up beside of us, and one was taking a nap. One showed us his privates. The others were just staring at the ocean, and I was thinking to myself, if these wild horses can find, solitude in standing at the ocean and watching the waves, like, why can't I? Right. So it was just definitely a peaceful and soul cleansing trip.
Okay. So that being said, what else did you do there that was peaceful, or that I wouldn't find peaceful, or
so I have never been kayaking or paddleboarding before. So
at all.
We stayed at this Airbnb right on the Albemarle Sound, which was breathtaking, like really beautiful.
Pictures did do it justice. I mean, it looked like an Amazon rainforest where they were.
So we got to be in touch with all the wildlife, all of that fun stuff, and So
took it a step further too.
We took advantage of the kayaks only because the paddleboard was broke. But we went onto the Albemarle Sound and spent like,
which is the ocean if you didn't know,
3.5 hours out there. We didn't flip. We rode our way all the way out past the bridge, and then hung out there for a little bit, and then rode all the way back. So. But Michael said that he would never have done that with me, so I'm really glad that I didn't book this trip with him.
What happened the day before with the lady that was staying on the other side?
Oh, so there was also a couple that was there, and the day that they were leaving, they were letting us know about the kayak and how awesome it was. And a dolphin had actually come like 2 feet from their kayak and just sat there, for like 2 or 3 minutes, which I was amazed. I thought that was so cool. And I was really hoping to find the dolphin, but we never did.
So I look at it like this. She's calling me. And I know she's going out there. And she tells me the story about the lady seeing the dolphin. And as they're rolling, to where they need to, or get in the kayak. And I said, you do realize if she's seen a dolphin, there could very well be a shark in that area too. There can be a dolphin. There can be a shark. No.
So he was not having that.
Yeah, if anybody knows,
come back in one piece.
Yeah, and if anybody knows me, I don't do the ocean. I love. Don't get me wrong. I love the ocean, but I'm that guy that goes in ankle deep, shin deep. Give me a couple of beers and a chair, and I'll just sit and I'll people watch for hours. Yes. Straight off a balcony, it doesn't matter. That's why I love. And
I like to do all the fun things. I've been parasailing. I've been kayaking. Now I just love to do those things. My adventure spirit is just a little bigger than his.
Thank God you got friends that share that same spirit, because
yes,
this guy's not doing it at all.
Right.
So,
I'm finally back. We're back.
Yep.
Together.
And then, as soon as she got done with that, came home, and then I think either the next day or the day after, we went back, helped our friends.
The next day.
Put up I don't know it's like the Trump Tower of a building that they're putting together. So
it's going to be a wedding venue.
Yeah, but, and it is massive.
Yeah, it's in the shape of a barn. It's going to be beautiful, but it really is massive.
So that's that was
even
exciting.
The pictures that we took don't do it justice at this point. So,
no, not at all. Thank God.
If you're looking for a place to have a wedding,
we'll
they'll be up and running.
We'll give you some updates whenever they're ready to go, and it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. The location of where they're at, the building, and what they're doing.
The pond out there.
I just like.
It's going to be perfect.
We'll just go get remarried just to have something there.
Renew some vows.
It's going to be awesome. So
speaking of which, what did you want to talk about today?
So just kind of road trip, for a week, and then or 15 hours, coming back 15 hours, and then your wife taking off and going to swim with the sharks. And we have, under contract with the house, which means that we're trying to downsize, but we're decluttering and camps for the kid and stuff like that. Like all of this stuff is being, at a short period of time, is being thrown at us, right? So
yes.
I was talking earlier today. Somebody asked us, they're like, you need to get your butts on there and do another episode. This is ridiculous. So we were just brainstorming, and I was like, us doing all of this in a short amount of time, if the foundation was rocky between us,
or uneven or unlevel.
Right. Like if our foundation of marriage was not built strong from so many years,
we would be coming apart at the seams.
Right. A sane person could go absolutely crazy having to get rid of a truck, buy a camper, downsize, sell some
all
stuff.
Your belongings, yeah.
And then
move into a camper.
And figure out, okay, so storage units, do we do storage containers?
What's going to be our mailing address?
Right, get them. Yeah, exactly. And we want to travel, and so there's a lot of what ifs and check marks that need to be
uncertainty.
There's crazy amount of uncertainty. So we were just talking, and we were like, if if your foundation is rocky and it's not strong, then how could one survive even a little bit of this? And thank God we have had that strong, both believing and needing to build a very, very strong, just permanent foundation to build what we have together, over the years.
Yeah. So, before you get married, you should have, or you should be building a strong foundation, meaning, rely on love and respect for one another, and also have that commitment every single day. You wake up and, you choose the person that you want to do this life with, know? So, and that obviously that's an option every single day, but you continue to choose it. And I think over time, you pick up other things like patience and
just the understanding where
of
the
a
other
different perspective.
Exactly. And I think that's probably the I don't want to say the rockiest, because we do figure it out well together. Sometimes we do butt heads, and
and sometimes we hurt each other's feelings
and honestly it's usually like a
misunderstanding,
and or I had the thought in my head, so maybe I thought I said it out loud, but I tend to bottle things up, and I didn't express those feelings. And when it was like, oh no, we talked about this, like no, we didn't talk about this, so there's some little things that can frustrate somebody else, but just
and that's another one of the key things that you need to make sure that is good even before marriage, like communication and prioritizing. You're going to have a different life when you get married, like different responsibilities, those kinds of things. So it's super important to make sure that even your values,
absolutely,
you need to share, similar values or beliefs on, big topics. There's always compromise in a marriage.
Right.
There's always, again, patience and understanding, but you have to make sure that those things are strong and continue to build them. Don't just, oh, we're good, let's give up and
but we've
ride
always
this wave.
But we've always seen the bigger picture from the start. Like where are we in 10 years? I mean, seriously, that's stuff we will sit back and we'll just, hey, where are we at in 10 years? What do you think? What's your mindset? But just looking way into the future, which I guess ultimately it reassures both of us, like, okay, he's thinking both of us in the future, and then same thing. It's like, so those things do help of when you're approaching that to have to build that foundation. It should be easy enough for you to talk about things of the future and what you both want to see accomplished and things like that. I can sit here and I can tell you 20 years ago, or even, let's say 10 years ago, we most likely had this talk of, where are we at in 10 years? Well, let's see, boy two will be this old. Yes. We're into, our 40s, and what's next? Where's the retirement kicking in? What do we have to do for retirement? So let me pause for a commercial break. So, sorry, mouth, throat's getting dry. But I think it's important early on to figure out who you are as a couple, apart as a couple, because this person is not supposed to be this person. They're not supposed to be the same. Right. We are wired differently. God wired us differently, in my opinion. I think if you just look at the makeup of how a man and a woman are, we are wired differently. And the moment you realize that, but also listen to that other person to build
and a marriage is a team.
Thank you. You must know I need a drink.
A marriage is a team, and you work with your teammate, and you try to be the best that you can be every single day,
Right.
and maybe your communication is off, or maybe your understanding or your patience is off one day. Well,
Right.
that's when the other one picks it up and is like, okay, let's talk about really what's going on, or I didn't understand that was important to you, or this important to you, or I didn't get that when you tried to convey it to me, so please explain it to me now. Those kinds of things. Just, again, compromising and not letting your ego take over and think that you're always right, or you're always
Guilty as charged.
same. Me too. I mean, and if you're not, you're lying. Because no one's perfect. We weren't meant to be perfect.
Right. But it's that knowing how to communicate those things. And we've said it on here before. And honestly, we still, I want to say, struggle sometimes in communication with each other. Hands down. We do. It's, I can speak for, I know for her, it's, does she feel important? Like, is she up here and everything else is down here, And I've always said it, and sometimes it takes somebody to knock me upside the head to remember, but it's God, wife, children, everything else.
Right.
Hands down, that's my beliefs. It's hers as well.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I tend to forget that, and I'll put others on top.
Well, but that's what society tells us to do, really.
It is.
Right. It's, you put your friends first, and then you put your family, and then
Right.
you put your children, and then you put your spouse, and then maybe you put God.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
That's when it all goes haywire.
Right. You got God. He'll help you do everything else right. And
That's right.
That's our beliefs. That's how we see it.
Right. And it's worked so far. So thank you, God.
Yeah. So foundation. Is it
Build
strong?
it. Yeah.
Figure out a way to make it strong if it's starting to crack. Just figure it out, because you can trust me. You can make it strong. It's just up to both of you to make it strong. If one's not willing to invest, or was but now isn't, then there's another issue, and you got to figure it out.
Maybe go and talk to a trusted friend or a counselor.
See, even like counselor, yes. Like they know how to handle exactly.
Yeah.
Your friends, nah.
I know exactly what you're thinking.
The friends, not so much. And then, but I sometimes it does depend on that friend. That like I've got one or two of them that are like, hey man, stop being stupid,
And listen, if your friends can tell you that, I feel like
they're your friends.
They're probably on a good.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you willing to listen is the question.
Yes, right.
Like, your friend can be your friend. They can be that way.
Or tell you what you want to hear kind of friend,
Which is dangerous sometimes.
It is.
So,
it definitely is.
But your friend should be here. The person you should be able to talk to, communicate with.
Right.
And share your opinions is right here. But you both got to be willing to do it.
Yeah.
So.
And I wanted to say, too, you were talking about the future and goals and things like that. I want to put it out there that you have to understand that people's goals and dreams and commitments all change.
Yes.
And they can change literally overnight sometimes. And that's another scary thing. I mean, it's called the ebbs and flows of life, or the trials or challenges of life. And just figure out how to navigate through those. Together as a team.
Like, you got to make sure you're both on board with what it is you want to do.
Of course.
Like,
yeah.
When I realized the market was what it was, it was hey, how you feel about this a year ago? How do you feel about this?
At least a year ago.
I wanted to do it. I wanted to sell because I've got a vision. But, with Angela, this house means more than just a house.
Right.
And it
was my security for a long time.
The last 10 years. This house is not just brick and mortar,
Yeah.
It's not. So it wasn't, I knew what I wanted to do. I felt like it was time to do it, but I also was sympathetic to what this house was to her and for her mindset.
Right.
Like I knew what this house, so I needed to approach it, but I didn't come out like, this is what we're going to do. This is why we need to do it. It was, hey, how you feel about this?
Yeah.
And
there's been a lot of praying on my end. I just, I feel like this was, yeah. But I'm speaking for myself is what I meant. I didn't mean that he doesn't pray, but it was a lot of praying for me because I did feel uncertain and I didn't want to, jump into something new blind. I have a gypsy soul and I love that, but I also need a plan. So
wild child.
Yes. So there was a lot of praying going on, and finally, whenever we decided to, there was still a good 2 months almost where I was like, okay, we're gonna do it. Yeah, we're gonna do it.
And I wasn't trying to push.
Maybe, yeah.
Right. And I wasn't trying to push the envelope.
Right.
But I was also trying to all right, what are we gonna do?
Market is good, babe.
This market's good right now, but it's probably not gonna. Eventually it's gonna just pop. Yeah. So I wanted, if we're gonna do it, it needed to be done. But I was still trying to, as a year of me, I just keep on thinking about it. I wasn't trying, and she knew I wasn't trying to push it.
Right.
If ultimately she didn't want to, I would have said, okay.
Right.
What are we going to do now then? We need to start moving some pieces around.
Or what's your ideas for this new game plan?
So, it was, but that's important. It wasn't, this is what we're going to do, I waited. She was warming. She was up to the idea, and then she was warming to the idea.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to spring it and be like, "This is what we're going to do," because I know what this house has done for her. Mm-hmm. So it was important that she knew that.
Yeah.
I've got your back. If you don't want to do it, we don't have to do it. I've got your back. It's fine.
Yeah.
But also, if we're going to do it, we need to do it. So I didn't approach it like a jerk. So
you usually don't.
Yeah, depends on how hungry I am.
That's very true. So I give him a Snickers, and we usually have some long hot tub talk about the important things. Yep. when we do need to discuss some
beer in a hot tub. You could think as long people could sit in there and they could talk for hours. It's no problem. So if you don't have a hot tub, get one if you want to do some communication workouts with your significant others.
Yeah.
I suggest that. I'm going to miss that hot tub.
Yeah.
The hot tub's part of the deal.
We'll get you another one. Fun. Maybe not in the camper, but in our new house when we build it.
Yeah, that's what we'll do.
Well, we hope that you guys found this encouraging or inspiring, and maybe you can take some of our perspectives or ideas and run with them in your own marriage. So if you like this, please subscribe or like or
tell somebody.
Share with your friends.
Tell a friend. Tell a friend.
Yes, tell your friends.
Tell somebody.
But thank you so much, and we will see you next time, hopefully sooner than later.
Yep.